News 6 is breaking down just how vital the 2020 census is to you and your family.
Right now, people in your community are working hard to make sure everyone gets counted. During the 2010 census, several Central Florida communities and community programs lost out on more than $1 billion in federal funding.
News 6 investigator Adriana Ivashinsky shows us which areas lost the most and which will get some extra attention this year.
Absolutely. Florida Counts gave us access to this map of hot zones showing some of the hardest to count areas in Central Florida. You can see one of those hot zones was right up there in Pine Hills, which lost out on millions in federal funding. So we wanted to know what the community thought. So we went there to talk with some people about the impact.
I watch too much TV. You know I watch too much TV.
Over at Hair Action Salon and Suites in Pine Hills, Christine Speed knows just how important federal dollars are to her community.
Because we need it, especially when it comes to roads and potholes, because I just had to replace a tire, so I know how it is.
But she admits she can't remember if she filled out the census back in 2010.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember, to be honest. I really don't.
Once we told Christine and her clients about all of the money their community could gain just by filling out the form, they started getting excited just thinking about all of the opportunities.
We want the better in store so we get better quality stuff.
That's because the census determines things like where to put in the next Publix or Starbucks, or where to build new houses, apartments, and schools.
How can we make a castle?
The census also determines exactly how much federal money an area can get for certain community programs, like Head Start.
I thought about taking that road.
Kingsford Bloomfield is a Pine Hills parent and says this program helped him as a kid, and it is now getting results for his daughter.
I don't believe a community, a city, can survive without programs like Head Start.
Let's see if you crack the egg all the way.
I care about this center.
We need 3.
I care about the 200 kids that are here. I care about my baby girl that's here. I want her to have better than I had.
Could you get the light decoria?
Program Director Tambra Jackson says every federal dollar they receive makes a difference in the life of a child. The more dollars they receive, the more children they can serve. Right now they serve 200 kids, and that's why she's sad the center here lost out on millions because not everyone got counted in the last census.
There are so many things that we could have done with that funding, so many more families we could have reached, so many more lives we could have touched.
We have a monthly check-in with them.
Jasmine Burney Clark is with Florida Counts, a group that's working with community groups to encourage people to fill out the 7-question census that will be making its way to people's homes starting in March.
We have the opportunity to receive $44 billion in funding to the state of Florida to contribute to those social programs that I think are needed so desperately in the state.
Clark says those who fail to fill out the census are only hurting themselves.
Yes.
That's why Christine says she will be making sure all the people who come into her beauty shop fill out the form, and so will she.
Oh, definitely, yes. I would definitely fill it out.
Now, homes across Central Florida will begin getting invitations to complete the census in mid-March. It will be a mailing, so don't throw it out. This is not junk mail. Now, you can respond to the census online. It's 100% online this time. You can also fill it out by phone or the old-fashioned way, by mail. Now, in April, census workers will begin visiting college campuses for a student count, as well as people living in senior centers. Then in May, June, and July, census workers will begin visiting those hard-to-count areas and those homes that don't show a record of filing or filling out the census. I have all of this information, plus a link to the map of hot zones I showed you earlier that you can check out on clickorlando.com.
And all this information, I mean, this influences where maybe a Publix or a Starbucks will go, as well as houses, apartments, schools. I mean, we need to fill this out.
The census is so important because it figures out everything, how much money goes into community programs, which you see is so important with the children. If they think there's only, let's say, 1,000 people living in a community, they're only going to fund it for 1,000. But then if you have 2,000 people living in a small section, you've just shortchanged the children that might have been getting some help by 50%, you know?
Right. With so much technology, I would think we could get past, not enough people filled out this form.
That's true.
I hope that we can some way come up.
But a lot of these areas, they have, we've grown so much.
Right.
I mean, think about it. We have 1,000 people every week moving into Central Florida alone. That's why this census means so much. That's why this count means so much. So they're going to have a lot of community groups going out. You're going to hear pastors talking about it. You're going to hear teachers talking about it. And you're going to be hearing us talk about it because we're in a boomtown section right now and every vote counts.
Hopefully we can get it out there.
Thanks, Adriana.